And do you know how close my studio is to the FBI building?
What? I thought the FBI is downtown.
No, the FBI building is 0.4 of a mile from here. They probably smelled you down here. Like, fuck, we know we smell a rat. There's fucking Matt Cox down
here. Hey, this is Matt Cox, and I was actually in the middle of recording something, recording my story, kind of a longer version of my story, and I got a phone call from Bubba the Love Sponge and Danny from Concrete, Danny Jones from Concrete, and this is that phone call. So, okay, let me explain first. So, I was on Bubba the Love Sponge a year and a half ago, I'd say. So, what happened was I went on his show. Bubba the Love Sponge was, at one point, he was a big-time radio personality in Tampa, and he was syndicated all over the United States. And then there was something with Hulk Hogan, where Hulk Hogan and Bubba were like best friends. Hulk Hogan was going through a divorce, and Hulk Hogan was living at Bubba's house. So Bubba and his wife at the time were both living together, but they had like an open relationship where he's sleeping with other women, she's sleeping with other men. And at one point, he was talking to Hulk Hogan, which is, I forget his real name's Terry something. So so he's talking to Hulk Hogan, and he said, "How's it going today, bro? What's going on?" And Hulk Hogan ended up saying to Bubba, "Man, I need to get a piece of ass. Like, I don't know, I'm stressed out, I'm having a bad day, I really need a piece of ass." And Bubba said, "Well, why don't you fuck whatever Bubba's wife's name was." I forget her name. He said, "Why don't you fuck, whatever her name was." And she looks at him, he goes, "Why don't you give him a piece of ass?" And she goes, "Okay." So Bubba was like, "Yeah, I'm leaving." Like, he wasn't there, he was in his car, he was leaving. He goes, "Yeah, y'all go ahead and do what you got to do." Personally, I can't imagine a scenario where I'd be okay with Hulk Hogan taking a crack at my girl, or really, let's face it, anybody. But the point is, that's what happened. That's Bubba's story, and I'm pretty sure that's what Hulk Hogan's story was. So they end up having sex. Once they end up having sex, it turns out that Bubba had a camera system throughout his entire house, and it videoed the two of them having sex. Now, Bubba said that later, he got the tape, and he watched the tape, and a guy that worked for him also watched the tape. Well, once that guy watched the tape, and Bubba says that he told the guy, get rid of the tape, or he kept it around. I forget what the story is, but he kept it around. Well, the guy that worked for Bubba took the tape and tried to sell it. He ended up eventually, I think he sold it or tried to sell it. I think he actually might have gotten arrested trying to sell it. I forget the exact story. But it ended up on Gawker Media. Gawker Media was a YouTube channel, and they ended up posting the video of Hulk Hogan having sex with Bubba's wife. Now, that ended up hitting the media. It became a big deal. It was in all the tabloids. It was a huge deal. The problem is that the tabloid version of that was that Bubba had secretly taped Hulk Hogan having sex with his wife. That he told him it was okay to do it, but he taped it, and that Bubba tried to sell the tape. Now, according to Bubba, and I'm pretty sure according to Hulk Hogan, that none of that ever happened. That Bubba was not involved with trying to sell the tape. And that's Bubba's story, and that's the only real version we have, that and Hulk Hogan's, and I'm pretty sure they're pretty much the same. The big deal was that the tape was posted without anybody's consent, and that's where the Hulk Hogan lawsuit came into play, where a guy named Kenneth Turkle, just so happened I know these names, Kenneth Turkle was Hulk Hogan's attorney. He sued Gawker Media, and I think they won. He got an award for $115 million. Did you hear that? $115 million. That's what that lawsuit was. $15 million more than Turkle was even asking for. The jury gave them $15 million more. 115. They were only asking for $100 million. Anyway, Hulk Hogan turned around and he sued Cox Media and a bunch of other platforms. that were involved in the dissemination of the tape, and he won huge lawsuits against them also. So Bubba was huge at that time because of that whole thing where it was alleged that Bubba was involved. Bubba lost a bunch of his sponsors. He lost a bunch of the syndicated deals that he had, and he ended up with just a few syndicated areas, and the channel that he currently has now, he's on the radio. He's on a few syndicated radio stations around the country. It's I want to say it's Bubba's Army or Bubba the Love Sponge, Bubba's Army, whatever. So he still has a show. He's still successful. I was on his show. So I was on Bubba's show. While I was on his show, one time, like 3 or 4 hours, I told my story. No big deal. It was fun. There were a couple other guys there. There were these two brothers that are called the Diaco brothers. They're both lawyers. One of them is also a surgeon. So I'm there. I tell my story. The second time I come on the show, me and one of the Diacos have an issue. We end up having an argument, a slight argument on the show. I don't even know that it was that big of a deal. What I know is that after the show, when I went up to the Diaco and explained to him why I got irritated, we then had another argument afterward. Well, that was the lawyer Diaco. So he then told Bubba, I don't ever want that dude on the show again. Bubba then contacted me, and Bubba at that time had been trying to convince me to do a show with him, to be a regular. Obviously, that didn't happen. Bubba sent me a text and said, yeah, man, you can't come on the show no more. Like, I'm sorry. I don't want to get into it. You can't come on the show no more. No problem. It wasn't that big of a deal anyway. I wasn't intending to be a regular. I thought I was going to go on once. He kept inviting me back. Then he started trying to convince me to do a regular show with him. That got kiboshed. No big deal. Anyway, here's what happened. Danny Jones with Concrete just went on Bubba's show. While on Bubba's show, Bubba mentioned me several times because obviously I'm kind of a regular on Concrete. And then Danny went on Bubba's show, and they called me while I was making a video. So here is that conversation on my cell phone with Bubba and Danny. And here it is.
Hello, Matt.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Here he is.
I'm actually doing videos on my show right now, but I took a break. I looked down and I saw that you called.
We did. And I was thinking about, I've been on Danny's podcast. You've been on it a million times. That's how I got to introduce you. And you and I got a little sideways, and I'd like to become unsideways with you.
We need to get to the bottom of this shit, Matt.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if you're at the top.
Yeah. Motherfucker.
I don't. I never got sideways. You just blew me off.
Well, you were fucking with my. See,
what happened with the Diaco?
Yeah, him and the Diacos didn't quite jive, and I had them both in on one the same. It was probably my fault. I shouldn't have had two alphas in there, and I had two bulldogs in there together. And when you got two bulldogs, what the fuck happens, right?
I mean,
Matt told me he felt like a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs when he was in here with all you guys.
What does that mean? He couldn't get a word in edgewise?
Exactly.
Well, that's how it
He's
works.
the one that should be talking. He's the high IQ McGillicuddy.
Yeah.
you guys. If I feel like you guys have this whole thing lined up already, like you already have a script.
Shit plan. Hey, hold on, motherfucker. I ain't got no script. You know that, buddy. If you know me.
Well, what's funny is I have the microphone on right now. You're on speaker, so you're really on my show.
Okay, so we're live. It's called, Matt, in the business, that's called live on live, buddy. I can teach you something. That's called live on live. We're doing a live on live, Matt.
Yeah, I'm not live, but yeah, I hear you. I'll do something with it.
Well, we're live.
Well, I'm not big time I can't go live like that. I don't have a whole crew in a studio.
Even Danny Jones was blown away with my studio.
It is pretty amazing.
It is pretty nice.
And I'm not nearly utilizing it like I should.
No.
If I had the intellect that you and Danny had, we'd be retired by now.
Yeah. You definitely you definitely got to work on the YouTube thing.
Yeah, I should be doing far better.
You can definitely, especially since you already have the content. Like you already have everything at your disposal. You could be blowing it away.
I know. I need to hire somebody.
So Matt, what happened between you guys? What's the beef?
Between what? Me and I mean, nothing. We did a show, and these guys were.
do 2 shows.
We did 2 shows, and in the middle of the show, I was explaining about how Marcus Schrinker had gotten my book taken down and that I was probably going to have to sue him. And one of the Diacos ended up saying to me, he made a crack about, well, and I said, I have documentation and everything. And he made a crack. Now, he's a lawyer, and he made a crack saying that the documentation could have been falsified. And I went, what? I said, yeah, but it wasn't. He was like, yeah, but I mean, it's you. It could have been. And I was like, and keep in mind, this is a lawsuit. Like, this is a possible lawsuit. Like, I don't need a lawyer saying that I could have falsified documentation. And so I looked at it, I was like, yeah, but it wasn't. And so he and I kind of went back and forth, kind of glared at each other. And he was like, well, I'm just saying, and kind of laughed it off. Well, that was fine. We didn't really get back into that until after the show. I went up to him and I said, hey, bro, I said, you realize why I got irritated, right? And he's like, well, yeah, I guess. And I went, no, you said, and I explained to him what he said. And I said, this is a possible lawsuit where someone may say, hey, we've got a lawyer out there saying Cox may have falsified documents. Like I said, I don't need that. Like, out of professional courtesy, I said, I wouldn't do that. I said, for example, and I said, do you understand? And he kind of shrugged it off like, yeah, maybe. And I go,
well, he got his Ferrari and said, fuck off.
Right.
Sorry, Matt.
Yeah.
I had to make it funny. That's how I do. But
I understand. I get it. It's just that, to me, here's what's so funny is that I looked at him, he acted like it wasn't a big deal, because obviously it wasn't, because he does have a Ferrari and I'm starting out. So what I'm saying is, I just looked at him and I said, let me give you an example. I said, your brother, who's the doctor, right? Dr. Diago.
Yeah.
Did a boob job on a mortgage broker of mine 15 years ago. Her name was Susan. I'm not going to say her last name, but I mentioned the name, and he even knew her because she used to hang out with both of them. And I said, he botched the boob job. He botched it so badly that he burned a hole through her tit. He then tried to shove the fucking boob in anyway. It was so bad that a week later, it started slipping out of the cut the mistake he had made. She went back to him. He tried to correct it twice. It was so bad that she...
See why Matt's not allowed back in here, huh?
Absolutely.
I'm sure Dan wouldn't care about that.
No, not at all.
My co-host, Dr. Dan Diaco, who's here 2 or 3 days a week.
Exactly.
So I'm just saying, I think pretty much we just figured out why Matt's not coming back.
Right.
So conflict of interest here.
Right. So here's what I said that I said it was so bad that she eventually got a lawyer and sued, and you guys paid. I said he paid her $80,000 to keep her mouth shut. And I said, so here's the funny thing is, I said, that I think is something that's interesting and funny, and we could talk about that. I said, but out of professional courtesy, I never mentioned that on the air. I said, you didn't grant me the same courtesy. That's why I got irritated. And he just looked at me and went, yeah, I understand that. And he walked away, got in his Ferrari, and drove off. I think I got
a text then from him saying, don't ever let that motherfucker back on the show ever again.
Absolutely. And then you texted me and said, hey, Matt, I hate to mention this. It's just not going to work out. And I said, gee, I think does it have something to do with the Diacos? And you said, I don't want to get into it, but yes, it does. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And that was it. It was over. It was over.
Obviously, she didn't keep her mouth shut if you knew the settlement amount.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Matt, we can rework you, kiddo.
I'll be fine.
But anyway, can we get past all that? Boy,
water under the bridge.
No, that's a big heat getter right there.
I mean, right? Like I'm willing to take some ribbing. I get it.
Yeah, but boy, when you come out, whip out your dick that big against the Diac, woo!
Bro.
Matt does have a dagger tongue.
Oh, he's got a dagger tongue. Matt just doesn't kind of cut you. He cuts you right. He cuts your heart out.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I'm really a genuinely nice guy.
Well, I mean, Matt, you are.
For the most part.
Nice guy, but you got a bad rap, just like me. I'm a genuinely nice guy too, but everybody hates me too.
I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot.
I bet you when you bring my name up that you did my show, and I'm not trying to be narcissistic and make this about me, but this is just strictly a question or research. when you bring up that you may have done my show, what's the person's first reaction? And you can be totally Matt Cox honest.
Honestly, it's 50-50. Either people absolutely love you or they absolutely hate you. It is 50-50 down the line.
And it's probably, you probably are working with the same stats. I'm thinking people either fucking hate you, scumbag, or they think you're pretty fucking cool and you're pretty smart. And you are deep down pretty smart.
Danny, what's my stats? Danny would know. He reads the comments.
It's funny. There's probably 30% fucking despise Matt, but 70% absolutely love him.
How about me? What are my stats?
You're better than that. You're 95% people love you. At least on my channel.
Right. They hate me. You know what? Your people like me more than my people do.
And nobody I've ever talked to about you, whenever people ask me or I tell people that you came on the show, no one ever has a negative reaction either. They're just like, they're more like impressed that I was able to get you on my show.
Wow, this is a lot. There's a lot of ass to kiss going on right now.
I am trying to think. I have somebody that was telling me they wanted to be on your show, that they remember listening to you, and they used to set up a mic and pretend that they were on your show when they were a kid, and that they who was that I was, fuck, I can't believe I can't remember.
Was she hot with big
No, it was a guy.
Oh, my bad.
But they loved you. He was just like, I can't believe, I would love to be on his show. Oh my God. Huh?
Jeff?
No, it wasn't. I don't think it wasn't Jeff. Hey, Jeff, the counterfeiter, is going to be on yours.
Yeah, Jeff Turner's going to be on. He's going to whip me up some fucking money.
He's amazing. He's got a great story.
Oh, he needs to get...
Yeah, he does a good race for you. Now, have you guys done a podcast together, you and Jeff?
Yeah, I did my podcast, and then Danny did his, but Danny is faster on the draw and released his almost immediately, and mine came out a week later. And then everybody in my comment section was saying, "Oh, Matt gets Danny's sloppy seconds."
Oh my God!
Well,
unbelievable.
I'm happy to have Danny's sloppy seconds. I had you. Danny had you.
Yeah. No, good times. You know who you ought to have? John Boziak, the credit card counterfeiter.
Oh yeah, you gotta get John Boziak on here.
Yeah, bro.
On the show.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Who introduced me to Bustamante?
Bustamante's great, right? CIA.
Yeah. Well, Matt, can we bury the hatchet on the Diaco deal? Can you keep your mouth shut on the deal?
Of course.
Little too.
That's why I didn't mention it on air.
Man, you just hung him out to dry on live.
You asked.
Yeah, when Dan hears that, it's going to be over.
Oh yeah, Dan's
Are they big? Are they big?
There's big swinging dicks. They are very.
Oh, they're big shots, bro. They're big shots.
Do they influence the show at all?
Yeah, a lot.
Here's Dr. Dan right there. They're the funders. They're the executive producers.
Yeah,
that's Dan.
There's Dr.
Dan circa 1994.
Yeah, well, Dan. Listen, plastic surgeons sometimes mess up.
People make mistakes.
All sauced up.
Yeah.
I made a couple mistakes.
Yeah, you made a couple mistakes.
Couple?
Dan never gone to prison like you.
No.
He probably botched a few boob jobs here and there.
But he made up for it. You can cut a hole in me for $80,000.
Okay, easy, Dan. Stop doubling down, man. Come on, buddy. Stop doubling down, man.
Oh my
And the best thing about it is Dan will be the biggest asshole about it, because Dan and Matt are wired identical. Like, let me put my dick out. Let's have a dick off. That's the way you are, Matt. That's just the way you are.
Bro, listen, if I had been told that I had to take second seat, I would have done that. I need better instructions. If I'm doing badly, it's because I'm being given poor instructions.
Now he's blaming you, Bubba.
I don't fuck you. Well, he's got me scrambling right now. I'm just worried about Dan blowing that phone call.
You asked what happened.
You guys all know that Dan is going to be full fucking hot right now.
Walk on eggshells around here,
When
Matt.
he's done with surgery. Oh.
Just limp ass hands. Poor guy.
You there, buddy?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you still doing your paintings?
Of course.
And your podcast?
The podcast is going, it's a struggle, bro. It's a grind.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying the video. If you're interested in getting a painting done by me, my contact information is in the description box. Enjoy the video.
And your hair is on point. You're trying to get a couple inches off your shin bone. There's all kinds of things.
Oh yeah, I heard all those cracks. Listen, I get guys in my comment section left and right. Bubba's talking about your shoes. Bubba's talking about your shin bones. I was like, Jesus.
Now hold on. I suggested shoes with inserts. Dan Danny's the one that said you were fucking sawing your femurs off trying to get 2 extra. I didn't bring the leg sawing up. Danny did.
Unbelievable.
Danny is the one that brought the sawed femurs into the deal, buddy.
My God.
Don't get mad at me, Matt Cox.
I have some, I have some things I'm not thrilled about my body. I mean, yeah, that's one of them. Not everybody.
Everybody does.
Yeah, of course.
I'm fat as fuck. I'd love to have your body, buddy. Even if I was a few inches. Even if I was 4'11", I don't fucking fuck.
4'11".
Guy, he's got some big old SpongeBob arms to go with it.
He got big arms, fucking beautiful teeth. He's just looking for that Kurt Douglas chin, and he'll be straight the fuck up.
Your hairline rivals Johnny Depp's hairline.
Best Bank of America money I ever spent.
Hey, one of these days, I'm not going to be able to have it here because fucking Diaco will kill you, but maybe I can go over to Danny's place and we can all do a podcast, all of us together.
I'm ready for you to bring Diaco. I have no problem with the guy.
We should set up a cage match with Diaco and Matt Cox.
Diaco would kill him.
He's huge. He's 6 foot tall, 6'1".
No, yeah, plus the rage now. He'll bring a fucking 17-blade scalpel and gank them like they're in prison.
Why the rage?
Hey, Matt, were you ever scared of getting shanked in prison, or is that not even a thing?
I mean, no. I wasn't. I didn't borrow. Listen, if you get stabbed in prison, you had it coming. Like I didn't borrow money. Wasn't insulting to anybody. I was very respectful.
But what about a guy like me that's insulted people for a living? Like when they shake me?
You may have, and it depends. You'd probably be okay. Maybe. You'd probably calm down a lot in prison. Think about it. My mouth wasn't nearly as bad in prison. I'm not saying I didn't get bitch slapped once or twice, but, never got stabbed.
Did you have a guy fucking bitch slap the shit out of you and say, shut up, fucking short doggy dog, or I'm going to whip your ass?
Close.
Yeah. and what provoked it? Like, what did you do? You were trying to be Johnny Know-It-All, and he had enough of it.
I smarted off to him. I mean, we were watching TV, and he made some fucking comment, and I made a comment back, and he jumped up and hit me from behind, smashed me right from behind. Blew out the capillaries in my eye. My whole eye turned red. I ended up in the shoe for a day.
You never fucking said another word to that guy, did you?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. That tamed my sassiness for about a month.
How well would Danny do in prison? But I think I'd do better. Who would do better in prison, me or Danny?
Probably you.
Like these are the kinds of questions there's no good answer. I need to go back on Janie's show at some point.
Yeah, but Danny?
Bubba?
Likes the truth. Danny likes the truth.
Boziak's here, and he goes, Bubba's got too much of a mouth on him. He'd have a problem. I think Danny would calm down.
Boziak survived prison.
But Boziak knows I got the Jim Jones drink the Kool-Aid type fucking karma too, man. I'd have all these. Yeah, he would. I'd be like, listen, all you motherfuckers, you're my boys and shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to be like, fucking don't even worry about me. I'm a big time star. I got 3,000 in my commissary. Who needs what, bitch? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You'd definitely have some idol worship. All them guys would have known who you were. All them Florida guys.
Absolutely.
The Bubba Prison Army. I'm sure a lot of those guys.
We need to start a Matt Cox Bubba Prison Army division. You know what I'm saying? Where we go into the prisons and now, Matt, let me ask you a question. Is it hard to get a prison interview?
In the federal system, it's difficult. Yes. You're certainly not going to get it on camera, but you could get them to call. It's easier to get them to call in for 15 minutes.
Oh, yes.
As opposed to actually getting a live interview like that. You might get an hour with a public information officer sitting there listening to you, like the Gestapo.
What on the state level? Like if you were on the state, if a person's still on the state level.
Yeah, much easier. Much easier.
And even on film too?
In the state of Florida, I think, you can definitely get cameras in the state of Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
And do they chain the guy up so in case I ask a question that gets them right on triggers them and
I don't know.
How does it go?
I don't know about all that. I think they'd probably unhandcuff me. Like I was interviewed in the marshal's custody. I was unhandcuffed, but they had a couple marshals in the room too.
Right.
That was when you did Dateline?
Yeah.
Tell Boziak, when's he going to get his criminal ass up in here? I want to talk to him, too.
He's ready to go.
Boziak did your show.
He said, I'll drive over there tomorrow.
Well, tell him I'm going to have to get a fucking clearance check on him and make sure the Diacos aren't here and make sure you don't drive him because Dan's going to put a hit on you, buddy. I'm telling you that right now. There's a fucking hit on him, Matt.
You better edit that shit out.
Yeah, I better edit this shit out.
I thought it was live.
It is live. We're fucked. We're all of us. Yeah. Has there ever come a point, Matt, when you were like, just said, I'm fucked? Like when they were knocking on your door there in Tennessee, you're like, I'm fucked.
Oh, yeah. Bro, what are you talking about? Like, for fucking, 12 and a half years, I thought I was fucked.
I know, but you never were. You always got away like a little rat.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly like a rat. Exactly like a rat.
Like, when you get in trouble, how your body temperature kind of goes up a little bit. Like, did your body temperature go up when the feds were on the door? Like, because you're not going to get in a shootout with them or nothing. You're not that kind of a guy.
No. Did my body temperature? Of course. What are you talking? When they pulled the guns on me and threw me on the ground, and that's just a bad day. That's a bad day all the way around.
I would have cried too.
Like a small child.
Yeah.
Listen, when I was actually, I wasn't. I was numb. It wasn't until sentencing I cried like a baby. Like, you've never seen a grown man cry like this. I was embarrassed.
They're handing out 20 large, right?
26 plus.
God, and then you even finagled out of that, you fucker. God,
Well, I'm slippery. They didn't realize how cunning and deceitful and scummy I am.
Prison, you or Bosiak? Who's tougher in prison, you or Bosiak?
Bosiak handles himself better than I do. He's not the kind of guy to mouth off to people for no reason. He holds himself better than I do because he's constantly working on his image. I'm just running around saying stupid shit, getting slapped and yelled at. And
yeah, you get shut. You get hit in the TV room. Meanwhile, Bosiak poisons a guy in the cafeteria the next day.
Exactly.
I want to hang out with Bosiak, not you. Plus, Diaco doesn't have a problem with Bosiak.
Not yet.
No, he won't either. Bosiak's gonna keep his mouth shut. Unlike you, you got loose lips on you, kid.
Yeah, that's true. But I think you need new blood.
Bitch. You calling me Diaco's bitch? Is that what
I
you call me?
was very careful not to use the word bitch.
Yeah. Well, you're Bosiak's bitch, and Danny's bitch, and my bitch, and we're taller than you. Just some scum fat.
It's working for me.
Now you got a beautiful hairline and a nice jaw.
There you go.
The same girl? You get the same girl?
Same girl that dislikes you. Same one you gave. Oh, I should show you. Remember the gator head you gave me?
Right.
I mounted it. It looks amazing. And I tell everybody when they come in that Bubba the Love Sponge gave me that.
Right. And then they piss on it and said, fuck that guy.
They do not. Only half of them. Only half.
Now, how about your girlfriend? She still hates me?
Yeah. Especially after you ditched me. Especially after that. She said, I told you not to trust that guy. I told you.
Fuck that. I mean, she's got me completely wrong.
We got to get her in here on the mic.
Oh, she's got a good story.
Bring her in here. I'll be like, listen, first of all, let's you and I bury the hatchet, honey. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry you got to fucking be with short doggy dog all your life. But here's the deal. If we got off to a bad start, I like you, you like me. Let's talk. Keep fucking short doggy dog out there. Keep him in the green room. He'll be. You wouldn't drive Matt Cox insane. Interview his girl and make him stay in the green room. I would be. Listen, nothing would impress me more if you could sway her. That would be impressive. To get her to come on the show.
Yeah, and bury the hatchet and be like, hey, what's the problem? What's the issue? Like,
Where's
if you
she
could.
At right now? Where's she at right now?
She's at work right now.
Okay, I probably shouldn't call her at work now, should I?
No,
Right.
She would lose it.
Right. So
it would be great though.
It would be good. What if we conference called her? Be like, listen, we're live on live with a Danny and a Bosiak kicker here, and we're asking what's your first name only?
Jessica. Yeah. She's not. Listen, she would say nothing.
This is Bubba, and I am so sorry that you don't like me. I think we got off to a bad foot. Me and Matt's big mouth kind of in trouble with me, but we're trying to work through that. But I just want to let you know I've heard nothing but great things. Importantly, thank you so much for giving Matt a place to stay when he was down on his luck and had nothing to fucking do or say, and he's a fucking bullshit artist. And thank you for taking care of him. And would you accept my apology?
I think that would be great off air. She would lose it. Bro, what are you trying to do? I just got this chick in the position I need her.
Yeah, I'm going to say, Jessica, run. You're getting worked.
Oh, my.
He's got Bosiak for backup. You're fucked. Get the hell out of there, Jess.
Oh, my God.
You're two fucking bad guys. Two guys that did 450 years total time in federal prison trying to fucking steal your 401k from the Marine place. Fuck, get the hell out of there.
Has he ever seen Bosiak? Like, Danny?
Probably.
Oh.
Am I fucking with the wrong guy on the other?
Bro, he looks like he did time. Like, I don't look like I did time. This dude looks like he should be doing time.
Illuminati tattoo on his skull.
What
Bosiak does.
Bosiak does?
Yeah, covering his whole entire skull.
Yeah, but
not saying he's tough. I'm saying he looks like he's done some serious time. He looks tough.
He's not on here. I don't update this much, but
Listen.
just go to YouTube. Just Google John Boziak. It'll probably pull up my podcast.
Want to have his mugshot too?
Oh, no.
Mugshot. But it's his face in the front of an American Express card.
Oh, that's that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, he was a credit card fraud,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And tell Boziak back in the day, I used to have an American Express black card back in the day. Made out of metal.
He just said pretty impressive. Listen, he sold $3.5 million worth of credit cards, counterfeit credit cards to the Russian mob.
Oh, he's been dealing with the Russian motherfuckers too? Which one's Boziak? I'm looking at right here.
Far left. Top left.
Right.
Down.
Right here?
Yep.
He looks like a poor man's Vanilla Ice. Look at him. Hey, Vanilla Ice called wants his identity back, man. Would you make a fucking Robbie Van Winkle card? Look at
Who do people always think you are? Rob Deirdrick. Rob Deirdrick. He gets locked. We were in Vegas and guys were stopping him on the strip asking him, saying they thought he was Rob Deirdrick.
Like, I'm not Rob Deirdrick, but I got Rob Deirdrick's fucking credit card. I'll tell you that right now.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying the video. Wanted to let you guys know one of the ways I pay for all of this is through Patreon subscriptions. So if you join my Patreon at the top tier, you get a different painting every single month. The contact information for Patreon is in the description box. Back to the video.
Boziak doesn't have any paper, does he?
No, he's never successfully completed a probation.
See, I watched that podcast, Danny, on Concrete, where Matt was talking about how the feds were just so fucking fed up with Boziak's bullshit that they just said, fuck the paper. He cannot abide by any rules. He done something.
Let him loose.
Yeah, I watched that one. I want that guy in here. He's not going to fuck with Diaco.
No.
He knows better.
No, he
you know
does
what
that.
Diaco's going to do? Diaco's going to give Boziak's girls some free fucking tits that you have to look at, buddy.
Oh,
there you go.
You might give Boziak a whole new toupee, like one of those permanent toupees.
There's Matt Cox right there. Look at him.
He doesn't even need a toupee. This is what's so upsetting about him. He shaves his head and he has a full head of hair. He has a full, thick head of blonde hair and he shaves it. It just fucking infuriates me.
He didn't have to do 15 reverse mortgage fucking deals to get his hair like you did.
No.
Look at Matt Cox. And the only thing Matt Cox wants is a Kirk Douglas chin. That's the only thing he wants. I mean, how bad would you feel if Dr. Diaco goes, you know what? I know you talk some shit, man, but I was ready to give you that chin for free, buddy. And then you talk all that shit about me. I'm the number one chin guy in the world.
Is he?
He's fucked up. Yeah, he is I mean, he's pretty damn good, but
I heard he's up there in the hairlines too. I heard you can put a pretty tight hairline on somebody.
Look at Boziak, this motherfucker. Look at it. He's shot out of a cannon. I love this guy. Look at all that gold and shit. Is it real?
Of course.
He said, of course.
Yeah. That's great.
Some of that credit card money.
Gold checker.
It's like Jim Nolan trying to do a character.
Tell Boziak I'm bringing them one of those real diamond checkers in when he comes in, okay?
He said no problem. He has no problem.
Tell you guys could live 3 years just if he just went and pawed off his fucking shit. You guys could make it for him. Look how much shit he's got. I'm supposed to get another response from you, Matt.
Me? I mean, what do you mean? Look at I'm not I'm on the phone. I'm not staring at any gold.
We're in the communication. No, you're staring at the guy I'm talking about, buddy.
He's not wearing the gold.
No, he's not.
No.
He only wears them on air. That's his show gold. That's his doing a podcast gold. That is going to church gold right there. You know.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Only thing,
Podcast show gold.
he wears his Versace glasses all the time, though. He's always got his Versace's on.
How does he do it? How does Boziak do with the ladies?
Yeah, it's good, but they're crazy. He gets these crazy ones.
Well, but boy, if you can turn those crazy ones into something, they're hardcore. They're,
He's working on it, he said.
they'll either come or touch you. One of the two.
Both.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I wish.
Driving that new Cadillac.
He's driving a new Cadillac.
New Cadillac.
How'd he get that? Whose fucking car did he rip off of that? That's what I'm saying.
He's a hustler. He's doing good.
How long's he been out for?
Oh, for this time? 7 years. 7 years?
Yeah. Oh, he's been out 7 years this time?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the thing about you guys is I want to be your friends, but I'm so afraid that at the end of the day you're going to have a relapse on my shit, and I'm going to end up getting all my shit stolen. So doesn't that scare you? Blitz if you're sizing all our shit up and trying to find,
Oh my God.
trying to find our router numbers or some kind of bullshit so they can get into our fucking bank account. I'm so scared of these guys.
No way.
You guys could spare me on your hack, and I really appreciate it. Please.
Listen, I cannot be in front of that judge again. Absolutely not.
Let alone, hold on, fuck the judge. I'd be more scared of that female FBI agent that hates your guts.
Candace Calderon.
Yeah, that bitch fucking she'll come down here and shoot you on. And do you know how close my studio is to the FBI building?
I thought the FBI is downtown.
You know, the FBI building is 0.4 of a mile from here. They probably smelled you down here. Like, fuck, we know we smell a rat. There's fucking Matt Cox down here.
That's uncomfortable.
Hey, I'm just fucking with you. And I look forward to having you in, Boziak. Tell Boziak that I want to have I like to have both of you no good motherfuckers on my show. That'd be great.
Okay, well,
Danny, would you help me broker it? We could even do it right here if you wanted to. You could have all the footage. I'll have all the footage. We'll all share footage. Like, do the podcasters ever do that?
yeah.
You're on my show, and you're on my show, and I'm on your show. So here's the footage. You take it, and I'll take it, and we'll go do our own fucking shit with it.
Yeah. I interviewed Danny on his set and posted it on my channel the other day.
Yeah,
I think I'm the first person to ever interview Danny.
You are. Matt Cox is the first person to ever do a proper. Actually, yeah, first.
Did he do better than me?
No, he didn't do better than you, Bubba. Exactly.
No, come on. I don't have 50 years experience.
Question was, as I kind of razzed him for it during the interview. His first question was, "So, where were you born?"
I was like, man, I can teach you a few things, buddy.
Listen.
Come on, man.
I'll be much better in 30 years.
Yeah, you haven't had 30 years of training.
That's true. Well, listen, Matt. I did enjoy you as a guest, but now I do remember. Yeah, you're on the no-fly zone. You're on the You're on the. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's upsetting.
You really dropped the mic.
I don't feel I dropped it at all. But I hear you.
I'm gonna get all this patched up because I like to do a job. I want to do a job with you and Boziak. I want to do a show with you too. And Danny, I need you in here for for some peace purposes.
Yeah, I'll help lobby.
You guys aren't allowed to carry guns or knives or anything, are you?
Absolutely not.
All right. Well, I am, because I just want to let you know that. But tell Boziak I'm going to be strapped the entire time. Okay.
I can be strapped too.
Got it. All right.
How can he be strapped?
He can't.
Put Boziak on real fast.
Oh my God.
Put him on real fast.
Hello.
Hey, Boziak, I'm just talking to you. I don't have a problem. Okay, buddy.
Oh, that's no worries.
And I like fucking with short doggy dog there too a lot. Okay, so don't get mad.
Oh, we all like fucking with short doggy dog over here.
So listen, me, you, and Danny and short doggy dog are gonna do a show one of these days. Okay, bud?
Yeah, that would be dope.
All right, buddy. Tell Matt thank you for being a good sport. I'm gonna try to work on that Diaco relationship. Okay.
All right, man. Set it up.
See you later, buddy.
All right, later.
Bye.
All right. So I appreciate you guys checking it out. I thought you guys would find that funny. Plus, it's a way to monetize a little bit of, some just craziness that is my life. And so do me a favor. If you like the video, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notified of videos like this. And leave me a comment. Share the video. And I appreciate it. And see ya.